And what is a post-Mexican? Because you just looked at this title and it just jumps out at you, the word post-Mexican. Well, let me tell you, post-Mexican is a person from Mexico who grew up in the last 40, 50 years and who has seen changes that have been extraordinary because of the different cultures mixing that has been brought about by NAFTA, mainly in the last, say, 30 years, 25 years or so. And what happens is here with this new culture is that it has created new ways of living in Mexico and new ways of living in the US, culturally speaking and socially speaking. The reason is that the two countries have been converging culturally and socially a lot. And so what you have now is in Mexico, there is people who have put behind what we used to call the old Mexico, or in the US, we call it old Mexico, no? In Mexico, we just call it el México revolucionario, the nationalism that we had before. And many of us have put it behind us because we see now that we are converging in these cultures and we're emerging from these cultures that are mixing. We're emerging in a different form, in culturally speaking. No, so I call that form post-Mexican, taking my cue from Roger Bartra, and a Mexican anthropologist. And all post-Mexican just means that you're a person who are with it today in the, you're keeping it real, in real time, that you're saying Mexico's still there, the nationalism's still there, but it doesn't affect me so much. My life is now this new world where we are mixing cultures, and I see myself as very a mix of these two cultures. And the US is being affected by Mexico, and Mexico is being affected by the US, okay? Now, what is happening then also is that I don't live in the US or Mexico, okay? I wrote these postcards. Sometimes I write them in Mexico and sometimes I write them in the US because I live in both countries. I'm a binational person, but I'm also a transcultural person. And I'm also a transnational person because I don't see the US as my country and I don't see Mexico as my country. I see this big swath of land between, say, Cuernavaca in Morelos in Mexico and over here in Pleasant Hill, California, where I live right now. And sometimes Ohio, where I lived a good part of my life also. I see that as my area where I fit in because I can understand, I can navigate those cultures, I can navigate those worlds in a very, let's say, easy manner. I'm used to those cultures. I'm used to being in all those milieus, cultural milieus. And that's what is a post-Mexican. Someone can navigate his or her way in any of these places because these places is no longer the US and Mexico. This place, some people have called it Mex-America, others have given it other names, but I just say they're Siamese twins because whether we like it or not, the two countries are joined at the hip and you cannot separate that experience anymore.